Some would say um, Kevin Conroy is the greatest Batman ever. Um, what I want to say is Kevin Conroy is not the greatest Batman ever. Kevin Conroy is the. What's up, and welcome to another Los Wise Guys podcast. I am your host, Eslam, aka Rock God of the Sun, accompanied by Dan, Papa Sun Killer, and Disco. How's it going, fellas?
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. We love y'all.
Yeah,
That's
well,
right.
some of you.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. If you,
Damn, bro, we were just starting.
it's been a long day. If you like what you hear, don't forget to follow us on social media. Go like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps us immensely. Throw us some comments. We love talking. We love talking to you. Go check out the Los Wise Guys website, loswiseguys.com. New content coming up there every day. Now, let's jump into this main topic of this episode. This was an immensely surprising news item that just came out of nowhere, and it kind of felt like the death of Kobe, almost, because it just like it popped out of nowhere. It was like so sudden, and this affected me more than Kobe because I was way closer to this person, not personally, but through their work than I was with Kobe. So Kevin Conroy, unfortunately, passed away at the age of 66, I think it was,
Yeah, 66.
and he was quietly battling intestinal cancer, and he didn't battle it for too long and eventually passed. He didn't make the news public, and he's Batman. He's not gonna go out there and tell everybody his business. He's true to the character. Now, some would say um, Kevin Conroy is the greatest Batman ever. Um, what I want to say is Kevin Conroy is not the greatest Batman ever. Kevin Conroy is the one and only Batman. He is above all. I don't give a fuck what actor played Batman in live action series. No one has brought more attention to the character than the voice of Batman and the 1990s animated show. It was phenomenal. It brought a different tone to the character, and it was just beyond belief what some of those episodes were to the growth of the character. And yeah, man, it's one of the saddest news. He was young, he was still young, and just dying of cancer, just is one of the worst things that can happen to you, and it's just a slow death. And hey, it is what it is. But this is a tribute to the great and powerful Kevin Conroy, the Batman. So that's what I wanted to say. So
Yeah,
who,
his work speaks for itself. I read on Wikipedia that um whenever Kevin was on like a Batman series or anything he was in, Mark Hamill didn't even read the script. He would just look and be like, "Oh, Kevin's in? I'm in." Like and like that just speaks for his like the quality level of his work. It's just like if that guy's in, you get Mark Hamill wanting to be like, you
Yeah.
know. So it's a tragic loss. Definitely international news, and all the DC and Batman lovers out there are feeling this one, and tragic turn of events, and cancer just sucks, man. It just why just why if there's a God, just why, like why? I mean, dang, at least why the good ones? I feel
yeah,
like somebody like that, we got to cherish the time we did have, and it's awesome that he left behind his work, his legacy, and it's amazing. It's amazing that one person could impact the world the way he did, and just I'm eternally grateful for him and his life, and everyone that helped bring him to live out the life that he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Kevin.
I mean, you guys pretty much said it all, but yeah, man, like Kevin Conroy, we've said for a while now, who's the best Batman? Everybody, you argue like, yeah, is it Ben Affleck? Is it Christian Bale? Is it Michael Keaton? It's not George Clooney, but we know for a fact. It was like it always came back to the same thing. It's like it's Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
Nobody is like Eslam, you were saying, nobody's made like that impact with him, especially at that time. Like Batman the animated series was next level. It's like nobody had seen anything like that, and it was like it was a kids show, but it wasn't,
No.
and
Yeah.
it's like everything that came out of that. Just think about like that show spawned the Superman animated series, Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, all the other everything that
Hmm.
came out of it. Then you look at all the video game stuff he's worked. This man
The
came
Arkham
back.
series. Yeah.
Exactly. The Arkham series, Batman Vengeance. You remember that one?
Hmm. Yep.
Um, but you have that, and then he finally got to be live action.
Yeah.
Just a little while ago, live action Bruce Wayne. So yeah, man, this man's had an impact on my life and the lives of many others, and it's sad to see him go. I mean, he was still working. I think he has projects coming out where he's going to voice other characters. Like, I think he has one coming out either next year or later this year where he's playing Thomas Wayne. He's doing the voice of Thomas Wayne on something.
Yeah.
I was reading up on it. So it's like this man never stopped working. And yeah, man, just Kevin Conroy, he's the best. Just listening to him talk, it's like you could still hear the hint of the animated series Batman in there, and it's crazy because it's like if you just close your eyes, like, oh, it's just Bruce Wayne's Batman. Like
Well,
that
he
voice is so
actually
iconic.
turns it on. Like he deepens his voice.
He deepens it, but like
Yeah.
if you listen,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like there's a few, it's like you could find hints of it. It's like no, this is him. Like because remember, Bruce Wayne and Batman both sound different in the animated series as well.
Hmm.
So it's like when he's talking, he sounds a little bit more like Bruce, and then when he turns it on, he's doing the Batman. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know, man, but yeah, man, Kevin Conroy, I mean, true legend. Sad to see him go.
So I have a
He
quick.
uh he let me just say some stuff.
Mhm.
He did not only Justice League Unlimited, but he did like March of the Phantom. I wrote some of the stuff. Batman and Mr. Freeze, Sub Zero, Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, Batman Mysteries of the Batwoman. He did so much,
Yeah, all
and
those the movies. Yeah.
yeah, he was one of. I read on Wikipedia that he was one of the first voice actors to use two different voices for Batman and Bruce Wayne to like kind of distinguish between the
Yep.
two.
Mhm.
He was also the longest like actor to portray Batman and like be affiliated with the character. And this is actually a really nice one too. After 9/11, when the World Trades got hit, he actually was cooking for the police officers and firefighters that were on hand and with the relief effort. So he's man's got a heart of gold. He's just an amazing person, and it's just sad to see him go. Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, he did a lot of amazing things. I have this quick video on him becoming the voice of Batman that I wanted to share with you guys. I thought it was a really cool video. So that video was 2 years old, but when I watched it, it was just uh, it was nice to see him. I guess when he was still a little healthy, he was joking around and stuff like that, and to hear a little bit of the story of how he became the voice of Batman. And I thought it would be cool to watch and kind of like speak about it. But one thing was, Dan, you and I saw Kevin Conroy live at one
Yep.
of the Comic Con panels. It was a Batman panel, and he was a surprise special guest. He
Mhm.
came out, he sat down, and then everybody was
We're
cheering
losing our
for like.
minds.
We
We all
spent
went there. It
like
was a giant room filled with Batman fans, and
yeah,
Kevin Conroy's a surprise guest.
and literally half the time of the room was just spent, I think, us cheering at Kevin Conroy. So But then he spoke a little bit, and then he did the thing. You know, he
Voice.
was just like he did the voice. He said the line, "I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman." It's just like you saw in the video how he turns it on and then he can speak in his regular voice. So that's just an immense talent to be able to control your voice like that.
It's
And
like a superpower. It's
yeah, so man, it really sucks that he's gone and we're not gonna be able to hear him voice any new Batman stories or games and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I hope they always honor him, whoever these voice actors are in the future,
Oh,
always
absolutely.
study him or honor him in their choice of portraying the character in an animated form.
I wanted to ask, is there any in particular like performance you guys remember specifically? Like that stands out. Like I
Mask of
give
the
one.
Phantasm.
Thank you. The arguably one of the greatest at Batman movies for to some the greatest Batman movie ever made. Mask of the Phantasm is phenomenal. There's
I have,
is
yeah,
there a scene? Because there's one scene in there that I love.
I have a very vivid memory
Mhm,
of, I think it was when I first came to the United States
mhm,
and we went to like Blockbuster for the first time or like maybe West Coast Video. I don't remember. And I saw the movie and I was like, I have to get this and watch it. Like I was just, I saw Batman. Batman has, even since I was in Egypt, Batman has always been like my go-to
yeah.
character. And I got it and I watched it at least 100 times, man. I just kept watching it like almost every
Such a
day.
good movie.
And the I don't know which one scene that would stand out the most to me, but I've always loved the difference between the Bruce Wayne and the Batman that they portrayed in these movies.
Yep.
And there was one scene where he was breaking up with this girl, this woman in the
Miss Beaumont.
cemetery.
I can't remember her name, but yeah,
Yeah,
her first
and
name.
yeah, it's just like there was a lot of growth and like there's emotional exploration of like this character that they did in the movies and the show. And,
Yeah.
but what was the scene you?
Um, the scene with him and the girl in the cemetery.
Oh damn!
So it's right before she shows up actually. So it's like he's it starts off where he's still trying to come up with the idea of becoming Batman. So
Yeah.
Bruce, you see him in his house and he's like drawing out the costume and so forth. Like he basically draws out the entire outfit without the bat ears.
Hmm.
And he's like, this is just wrong. He throws it in the fire and Alfred's like, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. He's like, I can't remember her first name, but I know the last name is Beaumont. I remember that specifically. So it was like, yeah, Miss Beaumont's trying to get a hold of you on the phone. He's like, no, tell her I'm busy, blah blah blah, because he's focused on I have to be Batman. So that's the whole reason why he goes out into his like the back of the house where he has the grave for his parents, and it's raining. There's lightning going down, and then Kevin Conroy's performance. This might be his greatest performance ever as Batman, where he goes up to the what's it called
Mausoleum, the
it's not a well, it's
stone,
the headstone
the
thing.
headstone. Okay.
So he's holding on to, he's like hugging it, and then he's like, just don't. I don't want to do this. Like yes, I was gonna be Batman, but I was gonna do something. I was gonna honor you guys, but let me just donate money to charity. Let me have someone else do it. He's like, I still believe in the mission. I still want to do this. It's just I never thought I was gonna be happy, and
Mm.
it's just like one of these insane lines that he says, and he's like, I just please give me a sign, and that's when she shows up, and then he hugs her and all this other stuff, and that's when he decides, well, I this is my mission. I
Hmm.
stated that this is what I'm going to do. I have to be Batman, and
Yeah.
that scene is just phenomenal.
Yeah, one of my favorite episodes from the animated series was the robot, the cloned robot, where the robot starts to question his existence and is he conscious or is he not? And you have like that question that the robot starts asking himself, like, am I alive? And then the robot just ends up jumping off like a ledge in the cave. And it was just like it was a phenomenal story, like one-off story. Also, one of my favorite things about this series was Mr. Freeze.
Oh,
Mr. Freeze holding like the snow globe and like his raspy, deep voice, like speaking almost poetically about his wife and
Yep.
what he has to do. And oh man, it was one of
Yeah.
the most
So what's
wonderful
it called? Heart
things.
of Ice, I think it's called, that episode.
Yeah,
Like, oh my god, it's such a good one.
it
I
was just
mean,
phenomenal.
well, there's that, and then at the very, I believe it's the last episode of Justice League Unlimited, where they're doing the recap where it's like Terry McGinnis and is talking to Amanda Waller, I believe, and they're going back and they're doing stuff, and then there's this one part where they're talking about how on a mission Amanda Waller goes to the Justice League and it's all like, hey, so Ace from the what was the name of that gang where they're based off of like cards? You know what I'm talking about?
I'll remember.
Anyway, so it's just like, so she was basically the most powerful one, the girl
The
called
Royal
Ace.
Flush Gang.
The Royal Flush Gang, thank you. So Ace from the Royal Flush Gang, they're like, yeah, so she's gotten too powerful and she's like changing the entire world with her abilities. Like literally the world is all whatever and she's about to die. Like she's about to have a massive aneurysm and if that could potentially destroy the world because she's so powerful. It's like we need to go in there, we need to take her out.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
Batman's like, I'll do it. And then he's just like, I'm the only one that's gonna get closer. She talks to me. And then he goes up to her, she's like, I already read your mind. I already know that you're not gonna try to kill me with Waller's device. But I mean, you're going to try to convince me to fix everything before I die. And then she just starts tearing up, and then that's when she just looks at him, and you could hear like he's doing the Batman voice, but it's like the sad Batman
Hmm.
voice. She's like, "Can you just sit with me? I'm scared."
Yeah,
And then
and he holds
he's
her
just sitting
hand.
there. He holds her hand, and then
Yeah,
everything clears, and she dies, and he brings out the body. But it's
yeah.
like you can hear like he does emotion so well for a character that's just so brooding all the time,
Hmm.
and but like he knows how to keep that while still he could do all the different complex emotions of Bruce or Batman or all the different variations of the two, and he's just phenomenal.
Yeah, man. It was. Yeah, we can.
We can
We
do this all
can.
day.
Yeah,
If you want to put
but
what Rudy put in the
yeah,
yeah,
I want to show. So, Rudy mentioned, if not for Kevin Conroy, I don't know if we would have good modern day Batman games. His voice in Batman Arkham Asylum in 2009 helped change the landscape of comic related video games and expectations. Um, 100%. I think the voice acting with him,
Mark
and
Hamill.
then obviously Mark Hamill returning for the Joker, um, really added to the story um, that no other actors could have done for these specific characters.
Yeah.
The same can be said for what I forget his first name, but I think his last name is Judge for God of War.
Oh,
Uh,
Chris Judge. Chris, right?
Christopher Judge. Yes, thank you.
Christopher Judge. Thank you.
His voice acting in God of War is also phenomenal.
That's great.
So that's another person who embodies Kratos, and when
Nominated for Game Awards this year for Performance of the Year, one of the nominees.
nice, that's fantastic, definitely deserved. But yeah, Rudy, you're right. Kevin Conroy voicing Batman in the video games, and the video game. I don't know. I'm sure that it's been done before the Arkham Asylum game, but adding this level of storytelling with this level of voice acting
Hmm.
made this game way more wonderful than
Yeah.
it could have been.
That's the first superhero video game that is really considered like, hey, no, you did the damn thing. It's a success. The previous game before that, the ones that would come close to it are probably Spider-Man 1 and 2, the ones
I
based
was
off the
gonna
movies.
ask, weren't Spider Man's pretty
Yeah,
good?
but it was kind of like they were like a flash in the pan. Like everything else is like, oh, it's a video game. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
comic book or it's a superhero video game. It is what it is. And then Arkham Asylum came out. It's just like people were like this one might be something. Like this one
Mhm.
might be a legit game. Like that
Yeah,
it's not based off of a movie or based off something else. It's just like we're telling our own story in this video game. And we got Arkham. And
yeah.
then from there we've gotten the other Spider-Man games. We're getting Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League next year supposedly.
Hmm.
Like there's so many video games have come out based off of superheroes, and it really did start with Arkham. And at the center of that performance was Kevin Conroy. So
100%.
you know, so
Kevin Conroy, you are the greatest Batman that ever will be.
yep.
I don't think anybody will ever be able to replace you. And we're very sad that you have left us. but you will forever be remembered.
Yep.
Um, anything else about Kevin Conroy we would like to discuss?
If anybody, I mean, Disco listed off like a bunch of the movies that he's
Yeah.
in. And I mean, if you guys have seen the shows and you haven't seen the movies, definitely watch Mask of the Phantasm. Killing Joke. The fact that you
Hmm.
got to do Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy do Killing Joke
Yeah.
is great. I mean, I'm not. That movie has its thing. Some people like it, some people don't. Regardless, it's good. Their performances are phenomenal. And honestly, Mask of the Phantasm is just
Yeah.
so fucking good. Like, if
Yeah.
anybody who hasn't seen Mask of the Phantasm, my God, please do so.
I don't know why my dyslexic ass back in the day thought it was called Mask of the Phantasma.
Mm.
And I was just like, I added an extra A for no reason.
Mask of Fantasia.
Yeah.
The Mark of the Fanta.
Yeah. You guys never seen that movie? Don't you want to Mark of the Fanta? Don't you want
It's a good one.
to?
Nah, man. But yeah, if anybody hasn't seen those movies, please do. They're phenomenal.
Mandela effect.
Yeah. Disco, you wanna? Let's start with your news.
Okay.
Are we doing the news or we're gonna do the other
Oh
stuff?
yeah,
Oh
did you want
right,
to do the
let's. Sorry. Let's
Okay.
jump into the interview with the vampire.
Today I will be covering a little bit of the interview with the vampire show that recently just came out on AMC. Let me share my screen so I can show some pictures of the show. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like a Google Yahoo actually.
Yahoo.
You'd be
I'm,
surprised how many people use Yahoo. I've learned through work. It's insane.
That's wild.
I'm genuinely surprised it's Yahoo right now too. Actually, I thought I was using Google Chrome. What the? Oh no, it's Yahoo through Google Chrome. It just blew my own mind. Anyway,
Hang on, let me message you on AOL real quick to figure out if this is correct.
hit
Here.
my hit my aim.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
God.
anyway, Interview with the Vampire just came out, and to my amazement, it was actually a really great interpretation of Anne Rice's books of her Vampire Chronicles, focusing on Lestat. Um, I for one just want to mention all the actors. Louis was Jacob Anderson, who was also Little Worm on Game of Thrones. If anybody's a fan, Lestat was Sam Reed. He killed
Mm.
it. Claudia was Bailey Bass or Bass. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they did phenomenal work. And to start off, Lestat, I feel like it was actually true to the book. He had like this nice, charismatic French accent, and if anybody watched the movie, it's not they did not like have that like kind of interpretation, that feeling. So I think he really killed that role. He had this very seductive, powerful French accent, and he really commanded a room, especially with his powers. And he he really got me feeling for him because like he just genuinely loves Louis and he wants to be with Louis. But at the end of the day, Louis just doesn't love him. But so you could feel for his pain at the same time. He just wants this like eternal companion. And Louis was a great interpretation as well because they turned him black, which is awesome in my opinion because it only makes sense. He's a gay black man in New Orleans. That makes sense in my opinion. Um, but it also helps it be progressive in a sense because they could have like the racial tension, being like a vampire that's black and and having to kind of step down to these weakling humans that he can just tear in half in a second. So you
Oh, I
kind
was
of
about to say, even
you could
vampires are racist. I was
so you kind of get to
like,
see this like internal struggle within Louis, who's already struggling to become a vampire in the first place. So I really thought that was a compliment to the story, and really it made sense in my
no,
opinion.
that's definitely a cool perspective to have.
No, yeah. So I really enjoyed it because that's not in the book at all, and none of this is
Mhm.
really in the book. But I totally could feel like this could be in the book.
No,
You know?
it's not like one of those editions that's put there for no reason.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's an observation that was made, whether someone who these writers were reading the books and they were like, "Oh, like this could actually be a good and proper addition to the story."
It could add a
With
whole
that,
nother layer. Huh?
Yeah, without ruining the main essence of the story.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Helped it just helped revolutionize, make it more modern, but
Hmm.
still captures the same essence of the original work. And I'm sure Anne Rice is very pleased with that because it came out really great. Little Worm killed the role of Louis, and no, yeah, it was amazing. I loved seeing Claudia and Louis kind of their bond too, because uh, she became like a daughter slash kind of like sister figure, and then eventually she just becomes so smart that she and Louis have to like team up to kill Lestat, who's like super smart. He's almost like 200 around this at the end point, and so it's really cool seeing them kind of work through their clever minds, like their mind magic. They like talk through their mind telepathy, and they're trying to plan around Lestat, who's got crazy powers. He can fly and he can stop time almost, and it's really you really feel for the characters, and it really is a nice drama done well, not just like kind of like not to stomp on 30 Days a Night because I love that series too, but like they're more like mindless and just like, oh, I just need to feed, whereas these vampires are sophisticated, and they'll like Lestat will stalk his prey for like a couple weeks, and then pounce on him when he wants to, and just play with them and kind of dismantle them and make them feel all types of confused, so all their chemicals are pumping through the blood, and he just kills them. And also like that they use terminology from the book, like she Anne Rice mentions Savage Garden. Lestat refers to the world as a savage garden, and they use that terminology in the show. The Dark Gift, Le Petit something, it's like a little sip was what they call it. Um, they also mention Those Who Must Be Kept, which I think is alluding to where they're going to go next, which is the Queen of the Damned book, movie slash whatever you want to call it, arc.
That was Anne
So
Rice also.
yeah,
Oh, interesting.
yeah. So I'm really
That movie
curious.
sucked.
Sucks so good. I really loved it. Aaliyah changed my life in that
You know,
movie.
I've never seen any Queen of the
I've
Damned
seen
or
Queen
interviews
of the
Also,
Damned.
or no.
the guy from Korn, I forgot his name, the lead singer.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
made the soundtrack for that movie, and I fucking loved it.
Queen of the
So,
Damned. Yeah, no, I remember because I got a couple of songs off of you actually because
yeah,
you played
There's a
that
lot of people
soundtrack
that like that
back in
movie.
the day.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that great,
No, it's
but
not that
that's
great
beside
if looking in
besides it.
retrospect, but it
Yeah,
was a cult classic, and it was
Yeah.
like a
yeah.
nice Anne Rice, getting Anne Rice out there and her Vampire Chronicles. So I'm wondering if they're gonna like next season's clearly gonna be the way they wrapped up. It's clearly gonna be Claudia and Louis going to see the theater of the vampire and conclude the interview with the vampire saga. But I'm curious if they're gonna go run into the Queen of the Damned, the Body Snatcher, Memnoch the Devil, and also the arcs where they're dealing with the vampire core. I'm curious if it gets enough like momentum, if they're gonna go the whole run, because there's a lot of good stuff there. My favorite is Memnoch the Devil, where he pretty much gets recruited by this like devil like character, and he's pretty much takes him to heaven and hell, and he has to decide, and just messes up his mind. Uh, a lot of cool stuff and a lot of content they could work with so far. The way they started off this series, it just blew me away. I
Is
really
this a
love.
BBC show?
It's a
AMC.
AMC.
AMC. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Since this is an AMC show, I mean, I know you're saying you hope that it goes for a while. I mean, if The Walking Dead's any indication, this show ain't never gonna end. So
That's it's gonna get like 74 spin-offs.
yeah,
No, yeah, and also just another thing before I conclude, the spoilers. I've already said a lot of spoilers already, but the twist at the end is you find out that Louis is dating Armand, who's another ancient vampire, and which is crazy because I think, and if I remember correctly, Armand turned Daniel, who's the guy, the reporter guy. So I'm curious if in the next season or in coming seasons, like Armand breaks up with Louis and falls in love with Daniel, because that's how kind of how it happened in the books, and so I'm just trying to see what's happening, projecting my thoughts. But I'm 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 really blown away by this. I listened to all the books on audiobook, and one of my favorite series. And Memnock the Devil is actually one of my favorite books.
Hmm.
So cheers to some awesome writing and quality vampire drama, and to this show. I hope they go the long run, because you also got Marius and Pandora. There's so many different vampires, and even Armand, who I mentioned earlier, he has like a crazy background story too. There's just so much there that they could do here. So there's a lot of spin-off um, potential, which a lot of people like money wise. You just milk it for what it's worth. But regardless, I hope that it gets a lot of traction and doesn't fizzle out, and people like me fall in love with the vampire Lestat, like Louis has. He's just an awesome character. I really like him, and check out the show if you haven't already.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just jump straight into your news, Disco.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Since I'm already open, next up, UFC some general news for me. UFC's Anthony Rumble Johnson, he was also a British boxer, joined the UFC, is dead at 38. It's a tragic loss. He's impacted many when he passed. The social medias were blowing up. He was trending, and it's always never a good thing to lose somebody this way. I believe it was cancer as well.
Mm.
Um,
Wow.
yeah. So just my thoughts and prayers to Anthony Rumble Johnson. He's impacted many. You can see Daniel Cormier here. He's saying he's an amazing person. A lot of people, notable people too, give him the highest regard, and it's just sad to see someone young go so soon. He's only 6 years older than me, man. That's
Yeah,
just man, tragic.
it's wild.
So rest in peace. My condolences. And my
Yeah.
next story. Did you guys want to say something or?
No, man, just
Um,
thoughts and prayers to all the family and friends. I do remember the name Anthony Rumble Johnson back from when I was watching UFC a little bit at that time. Once you had the picture of him and Cormier side by side, I was like, I definitely started remembering him a little bit more there.
Yeah.
I don't follow UFC as much as I used to, but no, thoughts and prayers to all the family and friends.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Next story is Oh wait, it's not it. Here we go. Russia strikes Poland with missiles. Two missiles or rockets are reported to have hit a farm in Poland near the border with Ukraine. Two people are killed. Uh, Poland is protected by NATO, so I'm not too keen on the world's
hmm.
logistics of the world, but it's pretty scary, because I feel like World War III could be right around the corner, and the media is just hiding it from us. And as Americans, we just bury our heads into the latest Kanye news. So it's like, it alarms me hearing news like this that could potentially lead to, you know, devastating wars that will probably go on for years and years. But Russia's really pulling the works.
Yep.
Hmm.
And that's the end of my news. If y'all want to jump in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Dan, you want to go next?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
All right. Cool.
All right. So, definitely a lot more lighthearted than what you had there, Disco.
No,
um,
yeah,
so Logan Paul, recently, it's been revealed there was a text message that he sent out to Triple H about who he wants to face at WrestleMania 39. If that's the case, I don't know because the man got injured just recently with that fight with Roman Reigns. So, this is a story. It's coming from Wrestle Talk. It's written by. I have it over here. Here we go. SP3 from Wrestle Talk. He does a lot of news stories. Always like seeing his stuff. So yeah, basically he's saying, you know what? I want to wrestle John Cena. which honestly, I believe it or not, I think a John Cena Logan Paul match. I never thought I'd say this could be a really good match. So I'm very curious to see if that does come to fruition. I don't know. Like I said, Logan Paul is injured. I think that Cena is going to be trying to make an appearance for this year's WrestleMania. But if we do, I mean, Logan Paul's an athlete. If he's in there with somebody who knows what they're doing, like Cena, Cena's obviously not my favorite wrestler, but he can put on a good match, if necessary. So I'm sure he can make Logan Paul look good, and Logan Paul can make Cena look great because Cena, even though he hasn't been wrestling as much as he used to, the man can still go. Every time he shows up, he can still go. So we'll
Hey, I
see.
don't know if it's just me, but you sound kind of spotty.
What else
No,
is
he
new?
does.
What else is
I
new,
feel like
guys?
you're. I feel like it's literally on a timer. As soon as you start doing your news, it's like deuces.
Blah, 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 blah. That's all I heard.
Yeah,
So,
Blah, blah, blah.
how's it sound right now?
There we go.
good.
Good.
You good? Okay. Logan Paul maybe
Yep.
fighting John Cena at WrestleMania. Next story.
Straight to the point.
All right. Hopefully, it doesn't cut out on this one. Actor Stephen Amell is looking to try to promote his show Heels Season 2 with either WWE or
Nice.
AEW. They asked him, if there's anybody, if you could go back and wrestle, who do you want to wrestle? He straight up said it. Cody Rhodes. He and Rhodes are friends. They've gone way back in the day, back when he was playing,
Mhm.
the Green Arrow on Arrow, and Cody Rhodes was Stardust back in the day in WWE. They wrestled then. They stayed friends,
Mhm.
and they've done a lot of wrestling related things together. So, um, they were like, "All right, well, how would you feel about fighting AJ Styles?" And he's like, "That'd be great. I'd love to fight AJ Styles." They're like, "What about Darby Allin AEW?" He said, "That'd be great. I'd love to fight Darby Allin." This man doesn't care who it is. He just wants to fight someone.
Yeah.
So like I said, if you want to check out more on this story, it's right by Wrestle Talk written by Conor Rumsey. Check
Also,
it out there.
definitely go check out Heels season 1. It was a phenomenal show.
Great show.
So good, so well written, great story.
Yeah. And I love this. Vince McMahon once thought that this top AEW wrestling star was the drizzling shits. This is a story on Wrestle Talk written by Dave Adamson. Can you guys guess what top AEW wrestler that you guys definitely both know the name of? Vince McMahon was saying like, "Oh, this guy sucks. He's shit."
Um, the
No,
Moxley? No.
no, still no.
Um, uh, God, I can't remember anymore.
It's all good. Disco, any guesses? No. Do you know the difference between AEW and WWE?
Hulk Hogan.
All right. The man's referring to Chris Jericho. He thought
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
exactly. When I was reading this, I was like, my God. So by the time Chris Jericho got to WWE, he was trained in Canada at the Hart Foundation, or at the in the Hart Dungeon. I mean, he'd already wrestled in Germany, Mexico. He did his stuff in ECW where he was one of the top guys. Went over to WCW, carried the cruiserweight division, and then he went to WWF. This man had however many years of experience, and Vince McMahon's like, yeah, this guy's no good. Chris Jericho.
Thank God he got fucking out of there. Jesus. Even I was like, I was dumb back in the day, and I didn't like Jericho because he was a meanie, and I was naive.
Mhm.
And he's like, he's so good. He's so good at what he does.
Yeah.
Fucking
So
idiot.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Jericho's WWF debut. It's one of the best debuts ever in wrestling, maybe the best debut ever. Where they had a millennium clock counting down because it was like
Oh, the
1999.
Y2J.
Right
Yeah, and then it
today.
turned off, and then it's Y2J Chris Jericho. He goes out, he gets a promo on The Rock, and they did this whole thing. It's like, oh my God, Jericho's here. He's gonna fight The Rock, and that didn't happen. He didn't talk to The Rock. All he did is like he got put in matches with a few lower card things, and they're
Mhm.
like, all right, we're gonna have you fight China for the Intercontinental Championship. And at first he's like, I gotta fight a woman, blah blah. China proves she's an amazing wrestler, and he's like, all right, they're making money matches. They throw Eddie Guerrero in the mix, and Jericho's just hitting on all cylinders every time. But yeah, Jericho now arguably considered to be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time with the career he's had. At that time, Vince McMahon considered him the drizzling shits, and
Vince
that's what I have.
McMahon, you are the drizzling shits.
He was one. Vince McMahon's one of the greatest, maybe the greatest wrestling promoter of all time. There's no denying that.
Sure, but
But
he's a dumbass.
he's made some really bad decisions. He's made some of the greatest decisions ever. So
I
it's.
guess when you've been in it for that long, you know what I mean. You have to make bad decisions at some point.
I mean, this
He's
wasn't
past his time.
at that time. That was when he said this. This was like the height of WWE at that point, or it was
Yeah.
WWF even at that point. It was around
Oh, wow.
'99. But hey, man, the man has great ideas, and he has some of the worst ideas ever.
Yeah,
He put Eddie Guerrero's brother in a chicken suit and called him the gobbledygooker. Like that was a thing. That was a thing that happened.
Oh God.
And he also created Hulkamania. So what can I say? That's my Power Bomb Weekly this week.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
you need is one good idea.
Yeah.
Dude has a
run,
million.
run with it.
He's got a million good ideas, man. He has a million bad ideas too.
Win some, you lose some.
All right, let's jump into some of my news. Disney is actively developing an Indiana Jones TV series. Now, I'm not really sure if Harrison Ford is going to be involved or what time period of Indiana Jones this is going to be, but I like. I think he's doing one more Indiana movie, if I'm not mistaken, with Disney. That's currently in development.
I mean, they're doing another movie. I don't know if that's like the last one. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. I always thought Harrison Ford wanted to end
Just
this
die.
character to just like he
He wants
ended
every role
Han
he's ever
Solo.
had to just. He wants every character he's ever played to die. That's all.
He could just
Leave me
retire. I
alone.
don't know why.
Leave
Just
me alone.
retire. Like you could say no unless they have you in like this like slave contract where you can't. Like just say no, Harrison. Like you don't that's an option.
What was
He's
the
too
what was the guy's
nice.
name from the Blade Runner that he did the sequel to? Who was the main person in the sequel?
Oh, with the
Ryan
abs?
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Remember when
Did you
there
say
was like news
the
reports?
abs?
He has nice abs.
You're right, but I like that's how you remembered him.
I mean, there's probably other people who had to say it was like he's the guy with the abs, right? Oh yeah, Ryan Gosling. I'm sure that's. But
I mean,
remember when there was
he's
news
a
reports
good-looking
talking
dude.
about how Harrison Ford was like, I fucking hate Ryan Gosling. Like, I feel like every week there was a news report. They're like, yeah, and then there was the one time where it's like they had a scene where he had to punch him, and Ryan Gosling's like, no, like he legit punched me, and Harrison Ford's like, yeah, he was supposed to move. He's
That's
just
funny.
the angriest old man. I love it.
That's hilarious.
There was that, and I want to say for Star Wars, the Millennium Falcon like fell on him. Remember that? Too?
Yes,
Like the door
When they
fell
were
on him while they were
filming the
filming.
sequels, yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, this man just, I get it. He just doesn't want to fucking do it no more.
He's getting up there too. He's gonna touch 70 or something soon.
I think more than that. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. James Gunn wants to know which DC movies and characters you would like to see. He's asking the fans. So, which properties, which characters you would like to see him develop and work with for the new DC studios? Um, Definitely, I'd like to see Green Lantern back in the game. I think that would be fantastic. I'd love to see Martian Manhunter, and who else would I like to see? Well, those are like the big names.
Well, that's the thing. Once you said that, I was like, don't think of any big ones. I immediately
Yeah.
was just like,
I want
Animal
him
Man,
Yes.
Swamp Thing,
Okay.
Static Shock.
Static Shock, 100%.
And he recently put out a picture. It was one tweet, just one picture of Mr. Terrific, and I was like, yes.
Nice. You know who I'd like to see? I would love to see James Gunn develop a noir, or actually Matt Reeves develop a noir question show.
Mm.
The Question TV series, Matt Reeves, go for it. I
That'd
think
be
that would be
sick.
great. I think that
That'd
would
be
be great. It could be even a mini series. It doesn't have to be something that's like 3, 4 seasons. Just give us like one story, couple of episodes, maybe 8, maybe less, whatever it needs to be. Just give us a question story, and if it
Rudy,
succeeds,
shut
maybe
up.
do another one. What he say?
He said Aqualad.
I mean, Aqualad from Young Justice was amazing, so I would
Yeah,
agree with that. But
I
I'm
didn't give
pretty
a
sure
shit.
that's not what he's talking about.
Yeah,
I
no,
want to
that's not at all what
see.
he's talking
I want to
about.
see the Sentry. I feel like he can make Sentry cool.
The Sentry, I'm pretty sure is Marvel.
Yeah,
Is it?
Is
No.
it?
I'm trying to think.
Oh no, maybe the Centurion. I'm thinking of
What are we
from
thinking of
Marvel.
here? Century Marvel. Yeah,
Yeah, I was right. Yeah,
yeah, it
he's
is
their
Marvel.
equivalent to Superman.
Yeah.
Oh well, then I'm stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Marvel. I might be wrong, but
Yeah,
No, yeah, you're
he's
right.
one of
You're
their
right. That makes sense.
Superman
yeah, it's
equivalents.
one of their because they
Well,
got a
that's what I
couple.
want to see him do anyway.
Why?
No, no. I just
Calendar
I'm,
Man is would be an amazing villain.
Yeah,
I've been saying that for years because he is an amazing villain. We all
I
know
think
this.
we can see Calendar Man in one of Matt Reeves' movies. I think that would be something he could pull off very well.
Honestly, when it comes to Matt Reeves, I still feel like I wouldn't. I don't think you're gonna be like, all right, here's a bunch of movies we're gonna give these to Matt Reeves. I think Matt Reeves is like, you do the Batman. We're gonna find directors for other things. Like I
No,
think
that's what.
Matt
No,
Reeves
I
is the
meant Matt
legitimate.
Reeves using Calendar in one of the Batman movies.
Yeah, no, he could. I'm just because you were
That's what
talking
I
before
meant. No,
about.
I'm not.
I know, but before you were talking about different, like, oh, if Matt Reeves did a question, like that'd be great. I just don't see that happening.
If he wants to
Yeah,
do a sequel, well, he's doing the spin-off show of the Batman in the universe,
that is
which
true.
the question could be a part of, if he wants it to be.
They tried doing a
Like
Watchmen crossover. Rudy, let it go.
the with the detective stuff. But hey, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk some video games. We have some nominees here for the game of the year.
Hmm.
We have God of War Ragnarok, Elden Ring, A Plague Tale Requiem, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Now,
wow,
Dan,
that's just
Those are
actually on the
solid
list.
games, man. Entirely solid list. Not necessarily the games that are all games I would play, but that's a solid list.
but so what I was asking, is there any games that you would think should be on here on this list?
Anything else
And
that should be on this list?
yeah.
All right. So, in terms of games that may or may not have been snubbed,
Hmm.
I know there's this one that everybody's talking about, Vampire something or other. That's supposed to be like phenomenal. That people are saying like this might legit be game of the year, and once it wasn't named as a nominee, everyone got pissed.
Yeah.
Uh, Kirby would have been a nice nomination, but I don't think Kirby would have outdone any of these other games. Another game being Sifu. Sifu was a big
Sifu,
hit for a lot of
yes.
people.
Yeah.
Once again, I don't know if Sifu can top any of these games. The one here that I look at and I'm just a little bit iffy on is Stray.
Stray? Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Um,
too.
Stray was fine and everything, but at the end of the day, it was kind of just like
I haven't
you run
even
around, you're a cat. It's
finished it.
fun,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun, but it is what it is. Xenoblade, the Xenoblade fans love, this, and as an RPG, this might be the. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to win RPG of the year if it doesn't go to Elden Ring.
Hmm.
Um,
JRPG.
exactly. So it all depends. It's like when you start looking at this, it's like in terms of like who wins what. It's like, hey, if everybody starts voting for Elden Ring to win Game of the Year, they might put Xenoblade Chronicles to win RPG of the year. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Just so people can be like, oh, well, I know they're not going to win this, so let me give them their flowers here. So it's
Yeah.
like a whole thing. I don't know what's going to happen. Honestly, I feel like it really is going to come down to the obvious two:
God
God
of
of
War and
War
Elden
and
Ring.
Elden Ring.
Hmm.
And Rudy just put something in the chat that's actually been a weird thing: the fighting game of the year, Sifu, which a lot of people are like iffy on that because it's like, is it a fighting game? Like it is, but it isn't at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think of a fighting game, you think of something like a Mortal Kombat, like a Tekken, like a
Oh,
Street
okay.
Fighter.
That
Now,
type of fighting game.
but I mean that is a fighting game.
Hmm.
Like essentially, you have the sometimes it's 2D, sometimes 3D, blah blah blah. But then you look at Sifu, it's like Sifu, you're running around, you're fighting people. Like that is clearly a fighting game as well, but it's not a traditional one. So a lot of people are iffy about that. So I don't know. I don't know, man. But what
I
do you
mean,
guys think is
all in
gonna
all,
win?
I think we had a great year of gaming.
I've been
Um,
saying that all year, and everyone's like, "Oh, it was just Elden Ring and then God of War." I was like, "No, we've had a good year all year." I've been
No,
saying that from the
yeah,
beginning.
we definitely had a good year. And who do I think is gonna win?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
want you
play
guys to
Elden
guess.
Ring.
Yep.
The only games I played on this list of 6 games are Stray, and I'm playing God of War Ragnarok now. So I'm gonna have a bias with God of War.
Hmm.
I didn't play Elden Ring, so I honestly can't give a good opinion on which game should be game of the year.
Hmm.
I was thinking of watching the Elden Ring story to see and compare the Elden Ring story to the God of War Ragnarok story, and knowing that Elden Ring is a Souls or Souls like game. Um, uh,
No, it's definitely a Soulsborne game.
okay, a Soulsborne game, and going off of that and trying to make that decision later. But I don't know. I guess I'll just go with the obvious since it's what I'm playing now. I'm gonna say God of War is gonna be the hit this year.
Hmm. This guy, what do you? What would you make a guess to?
I'm gonna stay true to my God of War. It's done me well, so I really think it's gonna go home. It's just swing for a home run.
Hmm.
You know. But I'm actually really shocked Xenoblade's up there. I'm really looking forward to that. Actually, I gotta pick that up because I played the second one, and so now I really want to play this one. I'm like souped up that it got that sort of recognition, and so it's clearly gonna be like definitely quite the experience.
Yeah,
And
people love that game. People love
yeah,
that game. It's funny looking at this personally. I think I haven't even played it yet, but I'm pretty sure this is the game I like the most. It's a Plague Tale Requiem.
Yeah.
I like the first game a lot. Because Elden Ring is not my type of game.
hmm
Stray, I played it, but I didn't even bother finishing. I'll go back to it someday. Horizon Forbidden West, I liked it. It was great, but it was kind of just like more of Horizon Zero Dawn. I wanted more innovation. And
Hmm.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I was like, oh, we've never seen this before. It's great. So when Horizon Forbidden West comes out, it's just like, oh, it's this again. Okay.
Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok, I've said it before. I'm one of the people that doesn't think God of War 2018 is the greatest game ever. I don't understand why people like it as much. So I'm currently playing Ragnarok, and I feel the same exact way. I'm like, this is a good game. I'm not gonna say it's not a good game, but it's not as good as people are making it out to be. And Xenoblade, I haven't messed with yet, and Elden Ring, I don't want to rip my dick off. So I probably would just say it was like just by default, it's like I would probably enjoy Plague Tale more than anything else on this list.
Hmm.
Um, Now Rudy says it's Elden Ring. I find that surprising. It's a toss up for me. I really don't know. God of War, Elden Ring. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
they're all really good, like you said in the like originally. They're all solid games.
Exactly. Like they all have reasons to win, but it's really going to come down to Ragnarok and Elden Ring. Really, at the end of the day, it's one or the other.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're right about that.
totally.
All right. And next up, we have nominees for the most anticipated games, which
That's an
include
easy one.
Final Fantasy XIV, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Hogwarts Legacy, Starfield, and Resident Evil 4.
So Final Fantasy 16, by the way.
Oh, 16. Oh, right. The I before the V is 14.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
no problem.
Final Fantasy 16. For me, it would be a tie between The Legend of Zelda and Starfield. I'm
Hmm.
interested to see what Starfield is going to be. Now, Hogwarts Legacy looks interesting. I'm enjoying the depth that they went into to the 4 houses and like the different stories and stuff like that. You get to pick which one you go through and the common areas for them. I've seen some videos. It looks really interesting.
Hmm.
I just don't know if the gameplay and the story is like gonna be executed well. That's the only thing. But for me, the 2 games that because I've never played a Final Fantasy game and I don't care for Resident Evil, so for me it's gonna be Legend of Zelda and Starfield are kind of like my most anticipated games.
Yeah, for me personally, it's Starfield. The
Hmm.
winner of this award is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
The winner of this award, yeah,
It's if this doesn't win, I mean, I would be so shocked. Like
yeah,
I could
Yeah,
say that with 100% full confidence.
that's
yeah.
the
I
top
mean,
game for me
yeah.
as well. I'm like, and I can't wait till it comes out. I played Resident Evil 4, the original, but I don't know. This
Oh,
is
this
just
is a
like a
remake.
revamp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a
just
remake.
like
It's a revamp.
they're just revamping it, right? It's like they're not
Well,
changing the
no,
story.
they're changing it up. They're updating it like they did with. They've been doing it with they did it with 2 and 3. They're gonna do the same thing with 4. And the versions that have come out for 2 and 3 are phenomenal. Like you were talking about Metroid Dread
Yeah,
earlier, Disco.
yeah.
They have that where I forgot the character's name, but he's in the world hunting you as you're playing the game the entire time. So it's the
Oh,
same exact
nice.
thing. So it's like that was in. I believe it was definitely Resident Evil 2. I think they put it in 3 as well. So it's like it's very much an anticipated game because they're revamping
Yeah.
everything. But I mean, you look at Legend of Zelda shook the world. Whether
Yeah,
I think it's a good game or not, it doesn't really matter.
that shit was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna say it right here. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, that's a solid 7. But this is, like I said, very anticipated. So I'm sure that's
Yeah,
gonna win.
it
If
is
not, then
anticipated.
it
I
is
can't
No,
wait
deserved.
for
yeah,
that
for
game,
sure.
man.
Yeah.
It's the only reason I'm gonna be able to pick up my Switch again.
Yeah, dust it off.
Bro,
Yeah,
Sports Story is coming out in December, and I can't fucking wait.
yeah, yeah.
That's game of the year for me right there. Sports Story,
Sports
hands
story.
down, hands down, best game to
Nobody
come
picked
out
it up.
2022. Huh?
You can pick
Nobody
it up.
picked.
No, yeah, it's out there in the league. Somebody
Yeah,
should
you
pick
can
it up.
pick it up. You have so many games that you can drop. Like drop them and pick it. You're already winning second place.
I was
I'm
about to
pretty
say
sure.
Disco's gonna probably win second place,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hasn't played a damn
I
thing
already
all
put in
year.
some requests to drop already because
Okay,
I
good.
didn't know we could. I thought once they were like
Bro, it's the
locked
same
in.
rules as last year.
I got confused with the what's the special two that we picked?
Counter
Counter picks.
The counter picks.
Yeah.
Where the counter pick, if it's locked in and it's not coming out, it's stuck.
but
I
that-
don't know.
can't
I'm
drop a
dumb.
counter pick. Yeah,
Yeah, but
No,
that's
yeah,
the
so I got
lock, and
confused.
then the ones that are not coming out, it's a
yeah. It has a
calendar with
picture
an
of a
X
lock
on
on
it.
it. If it's
Yeah,
locked.
I'm dumb. I'm dumb. It's
It's
okay.
okay.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
drop
fight it.
drop the games, pick up
So I
Sports
already
Story.
dropped most of them, and
Yeah.
yeah, I want to see what Eva West does when it comes out, and
I hope it
that's
does well. I honestly hope you almost catch up to Dan. There might be a possibility.
I
If
need
How
you
many
to.
pick
points
up
are you
enough,
sitting at right now?
he's at 100 and something. It's like
I
104 or
checked
something.
today. I'm projected for
So
135, and I'm at like 100 something. Like
yeah,
as of
so
now.
if he gets Sports Story
Mhm.
and he picks up like one or two other games that does really well, you could give a Dan a run for his money.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Now,
it would be very interesting.
so just for your guys' opinion, should I make an attempt to make sure I secure the win, or should I just let it go?
I would say let it go. Let's see
Let
where
it
it
go and see if
goes.
Disco can do it.
Just
Yeah.
let it go.
Okay,
That'd be
let's do it.
cool.
I got to
That
do
would be
some
cool.
research. I researched up the Peniment and then Eva
Pentiment.
West a little.
Man, doesn't even know what
Pentiment.
games he's
I can't read.
You know what's funny? I was telling Dan because Pentiment was one of one of 4 games Rusty had mentioned they could be good,
Mhm.
and I just picked the wrong ones.
I'm sorry. What games did he say? Do you remember?
He said Bear and Breakfast, Evil West, Pentiment, and I forgot what the 4th game was. I think that murder game, that murder cleanup game, where you're like a cleaner for the mob. Cleaners. That's what it's called. Cleaners. You're a cleaner for the mob, and you got to go to these crime scenes and clean up the bodies and stuff while you're dodging cops. And I thought it's a cool concept,
I've
but I
never
never picked
heard
it
of
up.
that game before in my life.
Yeah. So I
You just
think
made it
I
up.
ended up picking other games. I
Yeah.
picked up Bear and Breakfast. I saw that didn't do well, and
No,
I was
that
like,
didn't.
"Fuck Rusty, I'm not picking up
That
any."
didn't look good. Pentiment was like iffy. It's just like when it first dropped, everyone's like, "Why is this
But with
like?"
Bear and
But then it's like it's
Breakfast,
made by Obsidian, so it's like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well, with Bear and Breakfast, I was like, people love these type of games, so I
Yeah,
thought
not,
it
not
was
the way
like
you think.
I was just like maybe the concept of it like being a bear and you're in the woods and you're running a bed and breakfast. It's a cool enough idea, and if it was like executed decent enough, people would love it and they would, give it good reviews. But it ended up just getting 76. So I was just like, all right, whatever. But hey, I got too much in my head with the
Yeah.
games that I was picking, and I just ended up making dumb decisions. But it's lesson learned for next season. I'll try to do better. But I did way better than last season, so
I
I'm
mean, you
proud
didn't
of
get all
myself.
those negatives, yeah. Now, one thing I want to say. Now, I know you're telling Disco and Disco you're thinking about picking up Sports Story. Now, remember, is Sports Story one of those games? Because you just saw the Game of the Year list, right? That for this year, and I just told you, I didn't play any of those games. The games I did play, I was like, meh, it is what it is. So, is my opinion of Sports Story being very excited for Sports Story really matter for points?
I would look up golf. I think I did look up Golf Story, and
Yeah.
it didn't do well, but it also didn't do bad enough where you're gonna get negative points.
Yeah,
So
Sports Story. I mean, Golf Story at the time was the most beloved indie on Switch. Now,
yeah.
score wise, does that reflect that?
No, it didn't.
You know,
But
so
Yeah, so I don't know. I got something to think about.
yeah, you also didn't lose a lot of points for Somerville, so you only lost like three
Somerville.
points
Oh yeah,
for
I
I
Somerville.
didn't
was
even look at it. I only
Yeah,
lost three
it was
points.
like 73. Yeah.
Okay.
I was laughing. What if I get my 130 and then your city girls, what is it, River Girls?
River City Girls.
River City
All
Girls
year. We've
comes
been
out
dealing with this
and,
all year. For
and
literally
then
a
knocks me
calendar
back
year.
down to third. I would be so mad if that happened.
I think it's not coming out. It hasn't
It's not.
been.
And
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's not coming out. But then again, we didn't think Somerville was coming out. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
reason why
true.
I counterpicked Somerville is like they stayed quiet, and then all of a sudden I was like, no, we got it, it's ready here.
Apparently it wasn't because it got 73. They should have kept
People
it.
like it. People like the game a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
That's another one. I heard a lot of good things about Somerville, and I got a 73.
Hey man, it is what it is.
I mean, that could still fluctuate. That could still move.
It's one of
We'll
those
see.
niche tastes.
100%.
It is. What do I have left? Do I have one or two games left?
I think you have. I don't
I have
remember.
Callisto Protocol. Which,
Yeah.
if that does well, it's
Oh yeah,
that's gonna
then
be a-
yeah,
that's
that's what
gonna
I'm
be a hit.
saying. You don't really need to do much. And I'm done. I can't drop Pokemon to pick up something else, and I have High on Life, which will do decent, hopefully.
I think High
Um,
on Life will do good.
but either way, I'm gonna be fighting Jonathan for third place, which is so fucking sad because he hasn't
Don't
done shit
count
all
out,
year.
Henry.
It's
I'm sorry,
amazing how
Henry's
he
done.
hasn't even done anything
Yeah.
and he's still
He
like
he
that high.
he picked great
Bro,
games.
you've
yeah.
barely done anything.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're at a really good second place.
You
right
guys,
now.
listen. This is a test because Jonathan plays video games, or at least he used to, and like he can. I guess he can tell which is a good video game. I never
When
played
we
video games.
drafted, I looked at his list and I said, dude, he's got a serious list. And he literally drafted, I think he made 2 moves and he just stopped. And
Yeah.
his list is still carrying him. Like, that's how good his list was. Like, I
Yeah.
remember saying it at the draft. I was like, bro, he's
So
he's gonna be
that's
a problem.
that just shows some experience in disco. You were a gamer back in high school too, so
I
it
guess it's
shows. It
carrying
shows. Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Eslam,
I,
you're, you weren't.
It-
And that shows.
Yeah, exactly. It shows a lot. It honestly does, bro. Like it's ridiculous, but hey, it is what it is.
No, I mean, you have an idea. It's just like, you've made a lot of weird decisions, but you made some
Yeah.
really good decisions too. It's like you said, you really got in your own head.
Yeah, I
I
did.
think
I
that's
did.
really what it is. You got too much into your head.
So that's again, that's something I learned for next season. Hopefully, I'll
Yeah.
do better. I've made a long list of games,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to keep looking for more always. So,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Just so you guys are aware, I don't know if you remember last time when we did the draft. I also had the different awards.
Yes,
for,
yes,
for the previous season. I already have the list of awards ready.
Nice.
Just
Cool,
waiting
cool,
to see
Who's gonna
who
get
wins
what?
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah,
Awesome.
I've come up with a few new ones and stuff.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. With that said, let's do final thoughts.
I'm going to get engaged. It's gonna happen. I got a ring for my girlfriend, so it's pretty exciting.
Nice.
Oh wow,
So
dude!
That's
taking
fantastic.
we're taking it to that next level. Eventually, I'm going to surprise her.
That's awesome.
Hopefully,
I
she'll
so,
think
check
yeah.
I'll
out the
cut
podcast.
this out from the podcast.
Yeah,
so
She's
she
not
doesn't.
going to listen. It's fine.
Watch
She's
it
not
be
gonna
the
get
one.
this-
Watch this be
She's
the
not
one
going to get this
episode.
far even if she does listen to that. I know that for a fact.
Oh man.
She's
Just put
Okay.
a
gonna be
time
like
code.
Kevin
Just put
Conroy.
a
I
time
don't
code.
know.
Disco talks about future engagement.
yeah.
Like, hang on.
I'm
let me
gonna
click that.
I'm gonna make a social media clip and just post it on our page and like
Just blast it.
Yeah.
Just put it on blast. Just-
Promote that harder than we've ever promoted anything.
yeah. Oh, that's fantastic news, bro. I'm
Dude,
happy
that's
for
great,
you.
man. Congrats.
Yep. So I'm
Gotta
doing
send me a
adult
picture
things
of that
over here.
ring.
No, yeah, it's actually really nice. we're it's pretty non-traditional. We actually picked it together because I
Nice,
want
nice.
her to actually love it and not like just pick a random ring that
Yeah,
was like
I
just
literally
like,
gave the
hey.
money to Nadia, and I was like, "Go get a ring." I was just like,
No, yes, we actually it was pretty fun, because she was actually here like 2 weeks ago,
"Yeah,
whatever, from New Jersey, and so we went to like five different jewelers, and we went to this one. Shout out to Iberra on in Tracy, California. They helped us, really friendly people over there. So we picked one ring from there, and then we went to like four or five other different places in the mall on other streets, and then but we came back to this one ring, and it just like we both were
it
just in
was the
love with that
ring."
shit.
That's
It was a magic
fantastic. Yeah,
ring, so it's a pretty special moment for us. So I'm sharing with y'all. It's pretty awesome to find that with
yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
and
Yeah, man,
You should
so
congratulations.
propose in Dubai.
that's actually what I was thinking because it's her
Yes,
birthday. It's her
let's
birthday on the
fucking
27th as
go.
well, and we're gonna be in Dubai. It's like one special moment for me too because I've
Yeah, yeah.
I've never really left the country other than Canada, which I really don't feel like doesn't count. So it's like
Yeah, no
this is
respect.
actually a special moment for me. It's gonna be a special moment for her, and I'll never be
Yeah,
able to forget because it'll be on her birthday. I'm just
nice.
trying to like plan it out for myself.
Yeah,
Never
yeah, that's
forget it.
fantastic.
um,
I'll let
so yeah,
Nadia know. Maybe we can figure out something so we can get you guys something to do it on. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Nice.
yeah. I just didn't want to like interfere with y'all thing because like I feel like it's rude to
We're
be
having
like,
a 4-day wedding. I think we can leave a couple hours for someone else's engagement. I think we'll be
no,
fine.
yeah. So yeah, I
Um,
just didn't want to be rude in that sense. But yeah, if you could hook it up, that would be fucking
yeah, yeah,
awesome. If not, I
we'll
was gonna
talk.
do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Great. Now I'm more
That's
upset
awesome,
yeah.
about not
man.
going.
I'm
That's
excited.
great. Thanks.
Sorry, bro. Um,
That's what it
I was
is.
gonna ask you to hold the camera. You just ruined everything, man.
Can't even do it. Wedding's ruined.
all
I can't. I'm not there to hold the camera.
You have to call it all off.
The whole thing's done. Oh man.
right,
Why'd
your
you
final
put me in
thoughts,
the big
Dan.
screen? Oh, my final thoughts. We're doing final thoughts. I'm like, I'm just in the big screen now for some reason.
Oh
No,
shit.
final thoughts. This is an interesting episode. We started off with very slow,
Sad
somber,
news. Yeah.
sad news, and then we ended up on a high note. So,
Yeah.
hey, man, that's what it is. You get all the emotions here
That's life.
at the Los Wise Guys podcast and in life. But fuck life. Just check out this podcast.
Slice of Life podcast. Check us out.
100%. My final news. Like
He
Dan
said,
said,
"Final
my
news."
final news. Jesus Christ. My final thoughts, and news of the day is that I'm very sad about Kevin Conroy, but I'm super excited for Disco, and can't wait. Yeah, we'll definitely plan something, and we'll make it special.
No, yeah, that'd be awesome. I can't fucking wait. Now I'm excited, even more excited.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Los Wise Guys podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to check out our social medias. Go hit us up. We love talking to you. Go like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Write meow and give us a couple comments. Tell us what you think about these upcoming, about the game of the year and the upcoming games. What are you most excited for? Also, go check out the Los Wise Guys website, loswiseguys.com. We always have new content going up, and these guys are fucking playing, and I love it because we're some silly bitches.
I was
That's
gonna try to
right.
see if I had something that I could like hold above, and then it looks like I pull it out.
Thank you for listening, and have a great week.